Are you on a real estate team and thinking about leaving the nest and going out solo? In this video, I'm going to talk you through how to avoid the biggest mistake you could possibly make, as well as walk you through my personal decision process when I left to go solo. What's going on, guys? Nick Deckard here. Welcome to the channel, or welcome back if it's not your first time. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below and turn on notifications so you're the first to know all of my tips and advice on how to navigate this thing we call a real estate career. Let's get right into it. The big question I want you to ask yourself is, are you ready to take on the risk of failure? We all know the stat of how many agents quit or fail within their first 2 years in the real estate business. And you don't want that to be you. I get that. And so you decided to join a team, right? To hedge as much risk as possible. Teams give you a lot of great things. Some provide leads, they provide admin support, transaction support, as well as show you the ropes of how to do the job. Because let's be real, real estate school doesn't teach you shit about actually doing your day-to-day job. And that's what you really need to know. So all of those things we mentioned that teams provide, you would be on the hook for providing them for yourself, for your own growth, your own everything. You need to have a high level of accountability if you're going to succeed as a solo agent. So if you do, and you're this far in the video, let's talk about the biggest mistake that you could possibly make when choosing if now is the right time. If you decide to go solo, you need to have a plan. You need to know exactly how you're going to replace or replicate the business you've gotten from the team. How are you going to fill your pipeline? These are all important questions. And if you go out on a whim and jump ship, push that eject button and go solo, odds are you will fail if you don't have a plan. So make sure you talk to somebody you trust. Hell, I'm happy to talk through your decision with you if you would like. I have a link down below directly to my calendar. I enjoy helping agents problem solve and think and figure out what they want from their business. So that aside, let's go into my decision-making process. How did I end up where I am, and why did I leave the team I started with? So I have nothing bad to say about the team whatsoever. The team lead was awesome. I learned a ton from him. The admin was incredible. Her knowledge bank was through the roof, and her ability to support and step in through my first few transactions helped me out big time. But for me, the further I got down that path and the more transactions I got under my belt, it hit me. The further I go and the more I grow in this environment, I'm growing the team lead's business. I'm not growing mine. And the deeper down that rabbit hole I go, it's going to be that much harder to make that decision down the road. So the first thing I did was take a look at my year with the team. Where did my transactions come from? What were the sources? And after doing that, I realized that over half of my transactions came from my own efforts, from my own sphere, from my own connections. So I knew that given a split difference between where I was and where I potentially planned to go, even if my business got cut in half, even if my transactions got cut in half, I would still be okay. I would still be making a substantial amount of money, well more than I need to cover my basic expenses, and it would allow me to invest any extra back into my business to help scale and grow. So once I got comfortable with the fact that I don't necessarily need to go out and do paid lead generation, though I have done that, it has been successful, I now learned that you don't really need to bank on that. So if your big fear is that you don't have $600 a month or $1,000 a month to go spend on online lead gen, or you don't have the time to follow up and wear all the hats you have to as a business owner, that's okay. There are ways to do this where you're not out chasing and herding cats. That's what it felt like to me, chasing these online leads. Most of them are around there browsing. They're farting around. They really don't have a high level of intention. So what I learned now that I wish I knew then is there are ways to attract clients to you, even ones who you don't know and who have never met you. So that's what I figured out thanks to the group that I'm with. And if that sounds like something you're interested in, stick around till the end of the video and I'll tell you exactly how you can learn more about that. So once I got comfortable with the fact that I didn't necessarily need online lead gen to fill my pipeline, I was comfortable taking on the admin role once I got to understand the ins and outs of every step of a transaction. My decision was then, where do I want to go? Where will be most beneficial for me to scale and grow my career and my business in a way that is time efficient, cost effective, and will allow me to meet or exceed my goals? So for me, it came down to really 3 brokerages, and that was Keller Williams, Compass, and eXp. And if you're not familiar with the general landscape of brokerages out there, let me break it down for you. Those three give you a leg up in wealth creation, and they do that through various mediums. Some may have stock awards, some may have profit sharing, some have revenue sharing. Without that, you're effectively renting your business from your broker, right? What you pay in to your brokerage, you never get back. You might get a high five, a bottle of wine, thanks for doing a great job this year, here's a little award you could put on your desk as a paperweight. You don't want that. You don't need that. What you want and need is to put more money in your pocket, to grow wealth, so you don't have to do this for 50 years. You will have the ability to retire and live the life that you want to live. So if you are thinking about making a change, personally, I narrowed it down to those three. And from those three, I dug deep into each business model. I talked to agents at each brokerage. And personally, I made the decision that eXp would be the best fit for me for three reasons. Number one was training. Number two was money in my pocket. And number three was the ability to have multiple streams of income simply by doing my job, doing what I'm already doing. And that's the dream, right? So let's talk about how that works for me and how it's worked so far. So if you had met me before I joined eXp, you would never find me talking into a camera like this. You would never find my ass on YouTube. I was not comfortable with that, and I didn't see the benefit of doing that. I'm not a social media user. Not personally anyway. For business, yes, but personally, I could leave that easily. Don't care about the likes, don't care about any of that stuff. But I was able to see and be shown and be taught the benefits of using video to scale your business, and more so than scale it, to actually attract your ideal client to you. You don't have to have nightmare clients anymore. You have the ability to choose who you work with. And that's all because you are going from what we call a one-to-one interaction. That's a phone call, that's a text message, that's a door knock, whatever your current prospecting techniques are, to one-to-many, and something that's evergreen, right? This video that I'm recording, it's going to be out on the internet hypothetically forever. This is going to be speaking to people for months to come, years to come, without me having to hash this conversation out over and over again. There's immense power in that, of saving yourself time. And I have an entire channel focused on buyers and sellers where I speak not only to my sphere and past clients, but potential clients as well. I've had countless folks reach out to me via text, call, and email saying, hey, I want to work with you. I want you to help me buy my dream house at the beach. When we meet, they know things about me that I didn't even recall saying on these videos. They connect with me and they trust me like that from day one. It's a beautiful thing. Gone are the days of having to herd cats, chase people, and try to convince them this is why I'm valuable, right? This is why you need to work with me. Who has time for that, right? We have lives to live. Life does not go on forever. We want to enjoy it and have fun. So what better way to make your work for you in perpetuity, even while you're asleep, right? The Warren Buffett quote about you're going to be working every day in your life unless you figure out how to make money while you're asleep. Now, I butchered that quote, and that's okay, because you get the point. Video is everything. And the group that I joined with eXp, it's called the Wolfpack. Mike Sherrard is one of the top content creators for YouTube in the real estate space. Connor Steinbrook, who is his sponsor, one of the top content creators in the investor space on YouTube, one of the biggest ones in the state of Texas. So they have tremendous amounts of training, group training, recorded tutorials directly for members of the Wolfpack to take what they've learned and go implement for our own business and our own growth. So I'm going to stop talking about that. If you want to know more, feel free to click that link in the description direct to my calendar. I'd be happy to talk to you and just see if you're ready to make a change, if this is potentially the right fit for you. And if it is, we'll take the next step and get you hooked up on one of our mastermind calls or one of our what we call discovery calls, where you can learn more about eXp and about the model, and specifically what the Wolfpack does differently over and above any other group in the organization. So in a nutshell, if you are thinking about going solo, you need to have a plan. You need to know where you're going, how you're going to get business, and more importantly, how you are going to get the support you need to scale and do business the way that you are most comfortable doing it, the way that fits your personality and can help you accomplish your dreams and your goals, not somebody else's. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, or you can reach out directly. My cell phone number is down in the description. I'd be happy to talk or text. Appreciate you taking time to check this out, and I will see you on the next video.